Well, well, well. You know, I get asked almost every day, do you intentionally rhyme and chime the things you say? I do not do this intentionally, by the way. It just comes out. I can't help it, baby. It just comes out that way, but it might have something to do with my childhood and reading one poem after another and having a fascination with poetry and literature and words and vernaculars and vocabularies. I was addicted to Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein, but my favorite of all as a small child was Roald Dahl. Now, I've read this particular poem that I'm about to read before on the internet, but hell, I could read it every day. I cannot let it go. I want to share with you what it has to say. You see, because it applies to every guy in the US of A and all across the world today, whether we're talking about authoritarianism or capitalism or the existential crisis of trying to figure out what life is all about. Either way, whether it be for a child or an adult today, it says everything you need it to say. So sit on down and we'll read it again. I think you'll like it, friend. The Pig. In England once there lived a wonderfully clever pig. To everybody it was plain that Piggy had a massive brain. He worked out sums inside his head. There was no book he hadn't read. He knew what made airplanes fly. He knew how engines worked and why. He knew all of this, but in the end, one question drove him round the bend. He simply could not puzzle out what life was really all about. What was the reason for his birth? Why was he placed upon this earth? His giant brain went round and round. Alas, no answer could be found. Till suddenly, one wondrous night, all in a flash, he saw the light. He jumped up like a ballet dancer, and he yelled, "By gum, I've got the answer. They want my bacon, slice by slice, to sell at a tremendous price. They want my tender, juicy chops to put in all the butcher shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part that'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings. They even want my chitterlings. The butcher's shop, the carving knife, this is the reason for my life." Such thoughts as these are not designed to give a pig peace of mind. Next morning, in comes Farmer Bland with a pail of pig swill in his hand. And Piggy, with a mighty roar, bashed the farmer to the floor. Now comes the rather grisly bit, so let's not make too much of it, except that you must understand that Piggy did eat Farmer Bland. He ate him up from head to toe, chewing the pieces nice and slow. It took an hour to reach his feet because there was so much to eat. And when he finished, Pig, of course, felt absolutely no remorse. Slowly, he scratched his brainy head, and with a little smile, he said, "I had a fairly powerful hunch that he might have had me for his lunch. And so, because I feared the worst, I thought I'd better eat him first." I guess you could say, even back in the day, eat the rich was at play. But there's so many things that this one poem can teach. Baby, baby, Roald Dahl, preach! Either way, I hope you enjoyed this reading today, and if you have not yet introduced your children to Roald Dahl, you should do so expeditiously. They might turn out like me, able to look around and fucking see.